Welcome back to Finnegan Begin Again. Today, I'm going to wrap my headers in insulative tape. Why do I want to do that? Well, one, because I'm doing a dual exhaust system on a flathead. This, being the driver's side, is going to come very, very close to the steering box, and I want to save as much heat from getting into that steering box as possible, as well as anything else that might be running near it, like a fuel line or brake lines, anything like that that's not going to want to get super hot. So I'm wrapping them in, this is titanium, some form of wrap that does not need to be pre-soaked. And as you see, I practiced on this first tube, and I've seen a lot of people talk about wanting to use zip ties or the extra steel holders, final ties to this, but I just went up to my sewing supplies, and since it's fabric and I'm using, like where this one is done, and I'm going to wrap this tubes over top of it, I'm just holding in place with sewing pin. Works for me. So I've already done this one. I'm going to move on to this one, get this wrapped up, tied in to latch this one down, and then this third one will latch the second one down, and then we'll finish it off. Getting it started seems to be the hardest part. So you take the end that you cut and fold it over 45 degrees. And then for me, I want to wrap this way, thinking about where I'm going to end. And so we get this first wrap on here, pulling tight as you go. And you want to give yourself about a 1/4 inch overlay . And then just wrap it up like a mummy. Okay, now getting close to the end of this one, so let's not forget to take that sewing pin out as we finish wrapping it up, just like that. But I was thinking in ahead, and I can always reach the head of that pin. So now I'm going to tie this second pipe into the first pipe as cleanly as possible. Okay, so by leaving it up here, I'm going to be able to wrap around it. So I'll go ahead and get the end of the pin, feed it through, and that'll hold it in place. Everything's nice and tight, so we'll go ahead and cut this bit off. Okay. And get started on wrap number 3, which should finish off everything. Once again. Oh, there is, I don't know if you can see, but there is two, from this side to this side. This one, if you can see the difference, is the sewn end. And they say you want the sewn end facing what would be the collector. which would be the end of the tube. So we want to wrap this way, so we'll fold over 45 degrees. Start it off. Once you get yourself into a rhythm, it's kind of therapeutic. Pull that one out. Now I've got an area of non-coverage here, so we can go under. All right, that is one mummified header. I gotta do the other one. Now that we've got this wrapped and cut, go ahead and use stainless steel crimps. Snip that off, wrap it back through itself, and call it good. In fact, we'll probably use a second one over on this side just to make sure that it stays on there good and tight. All right, one header done. Number 2. For the passenger side, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this one, pin it off, wrap this one, pin it off, and then wrap this entire long tube and tie in this one and this one to the long tube. I think that'd be the most efficient. So let's get started. So sewn end down. coming up on the first intersection. I'm making sure that my cut end is being wrapped up good and tight. Let's find the pin. Aha, there it is, okay. Now that we've got that wrapped up, take the pin out. We'll snip these ends when we're done. Final cleanup. Have it. Second one wrapped. Haha.